About a year ago, something happened in my life that has made like a profound impact. Someone came up to me and they spread the good news. They came up and said, "Father, have you heard this wonderful news?" And I was like, "Well, what is it?" And they said, "Utah's getting an NHL hockey team." And I got all excited because I've always loved hockey, but I've never followed hockey, right? I was never decided I'm going to be a fan of hockey. But I decided at that moment I was going to start following the NHL and following the Utah Hockey Club. And so I did. I started watching a lot of their games and started watching other hockey games. And all of a sudden I realized that hockey has a particular language about it. There are certain words that only exist in this sphere of hockey. And since everyone decided to come to church today, this is a public service announcement to help us become better hockey fans in Utah, right? I'm going to help you guys because we're all novices at this sport. Here are some of the unique words that hockey uses. Biscuit, which means the puck, all right? Beauty, which means a player who is loved not only for his skills, but for his personality. He is one of the coolest guys on the team and usually has great stories. He might also have the best flow on the team. And by the way, flow is hair, right? And a beard is lettuce. So me and Deacon Dell, no flow. No flow up here. I got some lettuce, but we have no flow, okay? Celly means a celebration after you score a goal. Cheese means the top shelf of the net. Chiclets means your teeth. Yeah. Chirp. Chirp means to trash talk the opposing team. Dangle. Dangle is when a player is a deke by making moves to fake out the goalie or opposing player, also used to describe the act of stick handling. Hoser. Hoser is a trash talk term for calling a player or a team a loser. This one has been around for a while. Before the Zamboni was created, the losing team had to hose down the ice following the game. Light the lamp means scoring a goal. A red light goes off behind the net when a team scores a goal. Sin bin, which means the penalty box. Sweater, which means the hockey jersey. Top shelf, or where grandma keeps the good stuff. The upper section of the goal's net between the crossbar and the goaltender's shoulders. Yard sell, when a player gets hit so hard that he loses his equipment and they're left on the ice after the play. Okay, so now that I've given you guys some introductory words to the language of hockey, I decided with my buddy Grok from AI that I said, "Grok, use these hockey words to retell the story of the resurrection of Jesus Christ for me." Are you guys ready? And I'm going to use my best Canadian accent because I feel that's the most appropriate. Apologize for any Canucks out there. All right, lace up, eh? Jesus, the ultimate beauty, was stuck in the sin bin of the tomb after a rough cross-check from the Romans. His chiclets were still intact, but the hosers thought they'd iced him for good. 3 days later, this legend pulls a dangle nobody saw coming. He dekes out of death's bucket, leaving Satan sprawled in a yard cell. Biscuits scattered everywhere. Jesus lights the lamp, top shelf, with the slickest resurrection celly ever. Talk about cheese that stinks of glory. Rocking his holy sweater, he chirps the Pharisees. "You hosers can't cage this beauty," he says, with maximum flow. His disciples, totally gobsmacked, drop their mitts, cheering like it's Game 7. The stones rolled away, the rink's wide open, and Jesus skates out slinging gospel biscuits to the masses. It's the greatest comeback in the Divine League, no question. Satan's still crying in the locker room, while Jesus, the ultimate playmaker, sets up the church for the eternal power play. What a beauty, eh? That's how you go top shelf on death. Not bad, huh? Rock's pretty good. I wanted to get you guys to laugh a little bit, because the most important thing on Easter is that we remember it's a day of absolute joy. Like, we come here and we celebrate the fact that on Easter Sunday, we led a crucified Lord, placed him in the tomb, and then he wasn't there anymore. Like, he walked out. And when we get baptized, we share in that resurrection. We share in that promise. Not in like a metaphorical way, or not in like a like way, but we share in it actually. That death no longer has a say to the Christian soul. Like, just like Jesus walked out of the tomb, we will walk out of the tomb one day. And this fundamental truth, guys, changes us. It changes the way we see the world. It changes the way we think. It changes the way we talk to each other. It changes our language. Just like when I decided I was going to be a hockey fan, right? And I was like, oh, there's all this language and I got to learn it. There's also language in our faith. A fundamental way that we bring the language of the resurrection into our life and to the people we encounter. We no longer use the language of the tomb and death. We don't choose misery. We choose joy. We don't choose agitation. We choose patience. We don't choose rudeness. We choose kindness. We don't choose cruelty. We choose mercy and forgiveness. We don't choose gossip or slander. Instead, we choose encouragement. We don't choose entitlement or ingratitude. Instead, we choose generosity. We don't choose despair. Instead, we're people of hope. We don't choose indifference to others' sufferings. Instead, we choose compassion. We don't choose anxiety or conflict. Instead, we choose peace. We don't choose our pride. In fact, we embrace humility. We don't choose death, but instead the message we bring is life. Easter Sunday is still kind of this wonderful day in society because for most part, we cancel all our things and we spend the day with those that we love. And so often, even within our own families, we use the language of the tomb. We tear down, we judge, get in angry arguments or whatever. But we can build each other up by how we speak to one another and how we love one another. That's how we can bring the resurrection in a real way into our families on this Easter Sunday. So wherever you are today, whether you come back for that Easter egg extravaganza, 20,000 Easter eggs at 12:30, or whether you go to like a brunch or whatever you do, Remember, how you talk with one another, or how you see one another, or how you love one another, is your witness to the resurrection of Christ. And in just a moment, when we renew our baptismal promises, like it's putting on that hockey sweater, the Jesus sweater today, right? And those words of resurrection, those are our words that we bring into the world. Because we are Christians, and Jesus brings life into the world.